Yo, guys, been on fire here back in the video, and today we're going to be hopping into our Oklahoma State offensive ebook in college football 25. You guys showed a lot of love on the Alabama one. If you don't know about that one, make sure you guys go check that one out as well. We have an Alabama college football ebook, but today we're going to be running an Oklahoma State one, which is the next most highly requested offense. And I told you guys I'd bring it to you, so we're coming out with that. Now, for this ebook, we will have the written version available for purchase. It'll be down below, pinned in the comment section, as well as in the description. First link in the description. It's going to be $6.99, and it is going to give you all access to every single setup, including every adjustment, every hot route, what route you put them on. It's super easy to follow along with and watch the video because I go through each setup one by one in order. It has an Xbox version, it has a PlayStation version, so I think it is a really good deal to get every setup in this offense. It makes it super easy to memorize. You can even look at it while you're playing online. Overall, best bang for your buck would be go pick up that ebook. Once again, down below in the description and the comment section. Now, obviously what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow along with it play for play as I go through the video. So if you guys are also new to the channel, make sure you hit a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and let me know which ebook you want to see next. We got Madden coming out. We'll be dropping some ebooks for Madden as well. But Oklahoma State, what do we like? We like trips, tight end, and we like this bunch halfback strong. Those are really the two main formations. Is there a few other decent plays in here, decent formations? Yes. Wing trips, we know this is solid. But really, we like trips. We like bunch halfback strong. And we're going to start out in the gun trips tight end. Now, starting out with our audibles, what do I like? I like Texas, X spot, verticals, and inside zone. Those are going to be our 4 audibles. I should actually move my camera up here. So other plays that we like in this offense, we like, we actually will talk about this RPO on the right there. Shallow cross, we do have one setup for that. Cover 3 beater. And then I like flood. We can actually replace inside zone with quick base, which we will do now. But overall, we're going to start out in Texas. Now, going over this offense, it is really, really good for a number of reasons. So, setup number 1 out of Texas. This plays really good stock. I mean, we have an angle route, we have a post route, we have a baby out here, we have a deep out, and then we have a corner route. So, there's a lot to like. So, our first setup is going to be putting X on a speed out. We're going to put Y on a little corner route. And then we have a lot of options here. What we're going to do is simple drag. So this is going to be our first option. Now, one of my favorite routes this year that's new is going to be the speed out, and it is super underrated. I've been looking for a type of a route like this for a very long time, and the fact that you can put them on it makes my life so much better. I mean, just the fact that you can throw it out there, it is almost a 10-yard gain. It's a baby out route, but it does not run deep, and this is something that's never been good because those out routes have always been way too slow to actually be able to be throwable routes. So the fact that we can throw it out there and you can almost throw it with a pass lead down to the first down marker. I mean, we're at the 35-yard line and you guys see these passes are going, that's to the 45-yard line exactly, and that's an out route. All you do is pass lead up. This is a stock cover 3 against cover 2. You wouldn't want to throw it, but that route is good, and we'll talk more about those, and there will be a lot more of those out routes. Moving on to our other reads, we have the drag, we have the angle route. This is just one of the more simpler route combinations in the game. Drag, angle route. Generally speaking, there will be a user in the middle of the field. He will pick one. He will simply throw it to the other one. Very good concept for man coverage as well. So here, we'll hit the angle route. Bad throw, but you guys kind of get the point. Show that setup one more time, and we will try to go relatively quickly. Obviously, it'd be better to like hit him right here, then you have more space. We're going to go through relatively quickly because we do have lots of setups in this video, and we don't want it to get to 50 minutes or an hour like the Alabama one did, but if it does, it's fine. We'll go speed out with X, we'll go corner with Y, drag with B, and actually, I'm looking at the same setup, I apologize. I guess I put it twice in my ebook. So what I also do, what I like, even following along with the ebook, is I will catch my mistakes. Like if I have the wrong hot route or something, I catch it while recording this so that there's no problems when it actually drops. So we're going to deep cross A, we're going to flat RB, we're going to put X on a speed out, and then what we're going to do is just motion over B. So we're going to motion him over. He's on an out route stock. He's going to turn into an in route when you actually motion him across. First read, it's going to be the running back in the flats. You're going to throw to the running back a lot in trips tight end. Keep that in mind. You're going to hit him a lot. So just be expecting that. So again, deep cross A, put X on that quick out route. And with X, you could streak him. You could do whatever, but I like having X on that route a lot just because if he's open, you'll throw it every time until he starts adjusting to it. But you motion over this guy on this little baby out route. He turns into an in route. I like throwing it in that window. So you can either throw it kind of early in that window. Obviously, throw it better than I did right there. Or what you can do is wait and throw him a little bit later. It's up to you completely. But I do opt for the motion snap more times than not. Now, if you can hit the tight end late, that is where you could throw it to him. It depends. Again, in a lot of these situations are with users in the middle of the field against two zones. It may not be as good, but that's a setup I like. Another setup I like is deep cross B. We're going to put A on a flat. We're going to put Y on a corner, X on that speed out. So it's going to look like this. This is going to be more of a solid setup to actually hit B over the top. So we'll kind of play the windows a little bit better here. Obviously, you could get shedded sending 5 out. Be careful with that. Angle route's open. We'll hit him. And again, a lot of times that crosser is going to be open in that window. I'll try and throw it for you guys. See if we can hit it. It's going to be kind of a tougher throw, but in situations where like they're using the player that's over the M and they bite on the angle route, the crosser is going to be open. So like, if you could hit him on the sideline too, you can throw it that way. I'm going to see if we can hit that sideline pass. And anyways, we're going to move on to the next setup here. We're going to deep cross B. We're going to drag A. We're going to actually motion X across here, and then we're going to put him on the speed out. So it's going to look something like this. This setup can be very good. You have a drag combo, little drag with the crosser. So usually you'll hit either the drag or the crosser. Again, if he's using one of those linebackers, you can hit the crosser deep, or the drag or the angle route, rather. So again, we'll go crosser, we'll motion him across, we'll throw him on that little baby out route, just like so. Hit the tight end over here. I do want to try and hit the crosser, so we're going to try and throw that. I might throw an interception, just know that we're forcing it, but that's a route that I'm going to try and hit for you guys. Now, obviously, in game situation, you would take what the defense gives you, and we're sticking in the same defense here, so the crosser not being open is not a result of like me trying to force it. I'm trying to force it so I can show you that it's a throwable pass. Like, there's a window there. It's a tougher pass against this stock coverage. Like, if I were to switch coverages to like potentially a cover 4 or something, you would see that it would be probably a lot more open. Let's even do like a cover 3 match type situation. But I just want to kind of prove to you that the crosser does get open, because I know I'm not completing the most passes here. But like here, crosser's open. You can hit it there in that window. Like, the route does get open. These route combos work. I tried them against multiple coverages. I'm sticking in a stock cover 3 because I don't want to sit here and like audible 20 times, but you can even motion snap this out route over here if you'd like. Boom, drag route. So, we have our options over there. Anyways, our last setup for this play is going to put B on a corner route. It's going to put Y on a little zig. We're going to motion X across, and then we're going to put him on a little motion speed out. Again, speed out. This setup is going to be solid. I like having the angle route to zig combo. Those are really good man coverage beaters. We have this corner out deep if we want it. I forgot I was still in the match coverage. Oh, awesome. I forgot to put... So you want to put him on the zig first, actually. So we'll put him on the zig, back on the out route. That's a throwable pass. This is matched. This is kind of simulating more man coverage looks. And then you can hit that route on the sideline as well. So we have options in this Texas play. Let's move on to our next setup. I'm going to audible back to the normal cover 3 that we were facing, and we're going to go with an X spot. X spot is going to be our next passing play. And with X spot here, there's a lot to like. We're going to go B on a slant route. We are going to go A on a post route. And then we're going to streak Y and flat the running back. Here's a look. I like this setup a lot. I like the way X is. You'll see he should sit in a beautiful spot right there in the middle of the field, wide open. Again, the user, what is he probably going to go to? He's probably going to sprint to the flat, try to go back to the tight end, or go back to the slant. That route should be open a lot of the times. Even against man coverage, it's a route that can get open. So again, this setup is slant B, streak Y, flat RB, and put A on a post route. So really, we're audibling everything besides that little spot route, but that's going to make the difference here. If you can hit this quick slant, like if he users flat right away, take that slant. Of course, take that slant whenever you can. Now let's say the slant is defended. We can hit this route right over the top. Easy post route. So the setup is very solid. Now, if you feel like Y is in the way a little bit, that's certainly possible. You could do things to get him out of the way. You could like flat him. I don't hate doing this. I like having him on the streak, but if you feel like he's creating problems, then this is something you could do. Just throw him on a baby flat, and then boom, we have maybe a little bit more space to work with. It's a little bit less chaotic without the 2 targets in the same area. So I'd be fine flatting him as well. Next setup is going to be slant B. We're going to post A. Once again, similar things. We're going to put the running back on a little out to the right. We're going to flat Y, and then we're going to put X on a little corner route. We're actually going to motion this flat across. So kind of a similar setup, but a little bit different. It gives us a little bit of an underneath option here. Again, we like throwing to the running back, especially when you have a good running back like we do here. Take advantage of that. Throw it to him a lot. These baby routes, they add up. If you can get your best players open in space, then you're going to want to, of course. So this setup, once again, was corner X. And again, with X over here, you could do a few things. I don't hate the idea of doing this whatsoever. Little baby out route, but corner out, it's just something different. It moves the DB up. Again, we can hit the slant over here. Tight end, he's going to be open in that kind of similar spot once again. So this setup, I'll show one more time here. Slant, flat, motion, corner, post. You could motion snap this guy. I would honestly prefer you guys motion snap him, and then you can hit the tight end over the top once again. So even with the first setups we showed in Texas, you could honestly run it with the post instead of the crosser. I may even actually change that on the ebook because the crosser didn't do a great job of getting over the top of the zones, but you see the post here, it does a little bit of a better job. It really just depends on what coverage your opponent is playing. The crossers will be good for man coverage. The posts, they will be better for zone, so it depends. I will probably leave the crossers in, but the posts are a really good option as well. And you see here, they're getting over the top of the zones. Perfect. Anyways, our next play is going to be verticals. Now with verticals here, there is a lot to like with verticals. We're going to go with a simple setup. We're going to actually deep cross A, and then we're going to put RB on a flat, and we're just going to drag Y. So we're going to keep things simple here. We're going to kind of, again, if RB is open, we're going to hit him. Now, is he as open in this play? Not really. He's more of a distraction. He's more setting up spacing. And what is our spacing kind of creating in this play? We're trying to hit either this backside drag, which we like a lot, or we're trying to hit the tight end. So, and also this play should open up B potentially. In this case, it may have actually opened up the tight end. That could have been just a bad read. But it should really open up B or A deep as well. Really, it depends on who the user is going to pick. But in this case, B is defended well. You can hit A in this window. Obviously, if he stays home, defends the tight end, then you can hit the backside drag. So here's an example of the crosser working. Whereas again, I know it didn't really work earlier. You could probably see it in my face that I didn't love that it wasn't working, but hopefully you guys stayed in here. You're trusting the process and you're seeing that these plays are working a lot better. So here, drag. Let's say you defended the tight end. Take your drag. We'll pick up 5. Better stick work. You could even pick up a first down. So we're fine doing that. Next setup with verticals is going to be deep cross A scratch that. We're not going to deep cross A. We're going to actually put B on a corner route. We're going to drag Y and we're going to angle our B. Here's a look at the setup. This is a good setup if you're trying to hit B deep on this corner route. Just like so. Now, corner routes, they used to be really a big staple of trips tight end. They're not so much anymore. Just not used as much. They're difficult to throw, especially if your quarterback is not the greatest QB on the planet. But we give ourselves a simple route combination here. Angle, drag, similar to what we did in Texas. Now the corner out with the tight end, again, just over there by himself, it's not something you're really going to throw. So here we're trying to hit B deep, but if not, we have underneath options. We're always giving ourselves underneath options, especially if we can't hit the deep route that we want. So I think that's always a good practice to have. Give yourself multiple options. Last setup for verticals, though, is going to be, we're going to drag X. We are going to just put RB on a flat. So here we're more so trying to hit B over the top. Now, will he work too well in this coverage? Not necessarily. You see there is a window there. You just have to try and not overthrow the ball like we did there. I like the drag coming from X. I really do. Oh my God, dude. This QB selling the bag. It's a bummer having to audible every time. I'm just going to start backing out because it saves me a lot of time too. You can also hit Y in the seam here, potentially. If you can click on undercut him, that's a potential pass. More so against the cover too, but that is a pass that you could hit very well. You could very easily hit that pass. I'm going to see if we can hit B again here. Obviously, you could hit him in that window. We had the drag open. We get the flat open late as well. That's just overall a pretty good setup. We didn't really complete the passes, but those routes were open. I'm sure you guys could see. Anyways, let's hop into our next play, which is going to be flood. Now with flood here, we have already a stock deep crossing route that we're going to kind of take advantage of. So our first setup, and you see, is a little bit deeper than the normal one, I believe. We're just going to put Y on a zig. And here we're going to start using the wheel routes. So we love these wheels with the flats. So we're going to wheel our B. We're going to actually put B on a flat. And then we're just going to motion them across. This is a very simple setup. Very simple. First read is going to be Y over here. If you can throw that, you kind of want to take it. Especially if you notice him playing super far over the top on a side. That's a good route to hit. This is a setup you can also kind of run pretty quickly. It's not that many hot routes, and you always love when it's not a lot of hot routes. Now, maybe with this one, it's a situation because that guy's able to play it. You almost want to be further to the left or even in the middle hash. That's perfectly okay. And that's probably better for this route combination anyway. Just to have the tight end over there as well. Just spacing purposes. You see this route. Geez. Is he going to... Maybe we motion the receiver a little bit further because, oh my God, this is Nebraska. This isn't Alabama. Like maybe we motion him all the way across and you could even put him on an out route. So this, he's cut so far upfield. It is unbelievably annoying when he does that. Jesus Christ. And again, the type of defense the running does matter. This is a good cover 3. This is a defense that, realistically, can we go to... If you wait late, that's a situation where it's probably better to wait late if he's playing that crazy. I don't know if that player is good or not on that side. No disrespect. But if he's playing it that well, maybe a situation where you want to throw it a little bit later. Let's go over our other reads, though, because we haven't yet. We showed the zig. Let's see if we can hit the tight end route. Now, the tight end route may be more of a late play type of a throw. If we can get the time here, hit him in that window. It's a catchable pass. Again, it just depends. Really, you're trying to hit zig. you're either going to hit zig or the crosser, or you're just going to hit the wheel route. Pretty simple. If the wheel route is defended, you could always hit that backside flat. Really more of a zone coverage. You wouldn't really ever run that setup against man coverage, just FYI. Next flood setup is going to be drag Y, wheel RB. We're going to put X on the post route. We are going to flat B, and we are going to motion him across again. So kind of keeping some of the same stuff. Some of the stuff is a little bit different. So you have the wheel route that you can hit, but we also give ourselves a backside drag. So we give ourselves some other options. We have a backside drag. We still have the crosser. Now with, I'm glitched. With X, you could leave him on a streak. You could put him on an out route. I like the post just to give ourselves another option. Give him something else to think about as a defensive player. So you go deep post, and you could do anything realistically. But here's a look at the setup once again. Again, you like to have these crossing routes. Generally speaking, they're going to be good. Highball that over the top. Situations like this are where you want to highball and you see the deep cross can do better. I probably could have been doing that earlier in Texas, but that's a good setup. Last setup for flood is going to be Y on a corner route, B on an out route. We're going to put RB on a flat. Here's a look at this setup. A little bit of an interesting setup. Not going to lie, it's a little bit of an interesting setup. You give ourselves a little bit of options. Now this route's going to take forever to develop, and really it's almost going to open up B. So if you actually wanted to, you could also go zig with this. I don't hate going zig because he's going to always open up over here. The corner out, we'll see if we can hit it. Will we be able to? Probably not, but if you're really on like 4th and 20, if you can get the time, you can hit him over the top. And that was with the out route. So you have options. If you're really trying to hit the flat, the zig is probably a little bit of a better option, but if you really want to hit the corner out, I would go out route. And you could leave him on the flat that he's already on as well. I didn't say that, but you could leave him on this route. You see, you really almost have to wait for him to break off, and he's probably not going to peel off unless you have the crosser, so having the crosser is important. Anyways, let's hop into our last play, which is going to be Y shallow cross, and then we'll talk about some of the run plays a little bit better. So I am going to throw it into our audibles here. We have our Y shallow cross. Now, does this play work? Great. It does not. Do you need a ton of time for this play to work? You do. Here's the setup. Corner A, drag B. We're trying to hit Y. Now we need a lot of time, and you see we probably may not be able to hit it every time. We actually do hit it there. Ideally, it just takes him a long time to run the route, especially if he's getting bumped around. This play does work, but it does take time. So if he's rushing 3, geez. Like you see, he just glitches. The sheds are crazy in this game. If you want, you can try and roll out. I wouldn't, if you want to try and slide to the right, do something like this. Even then we still get shedded. You guys saw that it was open on the first play. I'm trying to get it to just work one time. This isn't something you would really run online unless, again, you have a good offensive line. You have the time. You see he's getting bumped down the field. It is just, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. And then if you wait too long, you give up the option to throw the drag route, or he just uses it, then you're screwed in that standpoint. But he got bumped all the way down the field. The pass interference in this game is really infuriating in zone coverage, but you guys see he's open. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Let's go to the runs. We're going to go quick base first. Quick base is going to be a really good run. You're going to want to be patient. So that is a good option right there. Obviously, we picked up yards. Again, patience is going to be key. Even with a good player, you want to be patient. You see, I'm not going to hold the right trigger necessarily until I really have to. And even then, we turn in really nothing into a 7-yard gain. So that's going to be our best friend right here. Boom. Juke, juke. Again, be patient. Let that guard pull. Ideally, he's going to be a little bit quicker. Just depends on your personnel. Try to get faster guards if you're running this offense, because if you know you want to run quick base a lot, having this guy be quicker is going to be key. So you see we do a little quick cut there. You could obviously use the juke heavy. Having a good juke is going to help with your running back. But, you guys see this run is good. If you want to mix things up, feel free to incorporate motion. I don't hate doing this. Even if you're running to the left, you'd be surprised at some of the things that don't make sense in this game that actually help in football, like motioning a player to an opposite side and then it helps the run. I mean, weird things happen in this game. Anyways, we have the RPO. Now with the RPO, it's going to be simple. It's going to be similar. So we're going to try and hit B in the flat here. This is not something you want to run a whole lot because it can get picked off. It can be a risky play if they man up that player. But it can also be good. I love running this play in the red zone because they're thinking run, run, run. They're playing the run so heavy. And then you just release it a little bit late. And you see 15 yards. That was almost 10 yards. So these are solid plays for us here. Now, if we end up handing the ball off, that's going to assume that his user follows that flat route. Then, 71. If you could hold a block, that would be ideal. Just saying. Or number 0 can glitch through my offensive line. Love this game. So, you guys see it works. You're not going to do it for the run. You're going to do it for the pass. If you have to hand it off, you're probably not going to fare too well. Let's go into our next formation. Bunch halfback strong. Now, with bunch halfback strong, I think we have probably a little bit less setups, but it's pretty close. Now, my audibles are going to be inside zone, mesh flat spot, PA wide receiver in, PA bunch shot. Now, the other play we're going to talk about is Seattle. I only really have one setup for that, so it is going to be a little bit less setups, but we're going to start with mesh flat spots. Now, starting out with mesh flat spot, our first setup is going to be streak RB, put X on a little out route, and put Y on an angle route. Pretty simple here. A, he's kind of on a drag, he's kind of not. First read, over here. He starts more so from the slot, but you still have, he's kind of on the outside, but he's kind of also not. So that's going to be our first read. Second read, just going to be the drag here. The out route's going to create a lot of space over there for that flat route. If he doesn't user it, you can throw that pass all game. And again, we've had that setup in a lot, that route in a lot of setups. Next read, angle route. The hook curls play it pretty well as far as tackling on contact or right when he makes the catch, but there's that. And the other read you have is going to be the corner out over here. It's going to be a tougher throw, but if you can, it can be beautiful. It can be very beautiful if you can hit that route. Now, you can keep him on the stock corner route. You can also put him on the manual corner route. They really look identical. I put it in. I think I put it in. Actually, I don't think I did. So you can put them on the other corner route. They look, once again, pretty identical. And they really run the same. So it's up to you. I didn't necessarily do it, but that's fine. Next setup, streak RB. We're going to put X on a little out route again. We're going to angle Y, and we're going to flat A. So biggest difference, we just have A on a flat. This just gives us another option here. Check down. And again, this is something you would do. Let's say the drag is killing him. He hard flats left. Throw him on an out route. Boom. Easy money. He starts manning up the flat. You put him on the drag. He's going to burn man coverage. It's just really, you want to make the game a little bit simpler for yourself. So this also should open up the angle route. My God, the pressure in this game is ridiculous. Maybe I should have more blocking 6 setups because these are annoying. They're really annoying. Of course, this should do a little bit better for the corner route. Now, QB sucks, but timing sucks too. If you can time it perfectly, and you have to be careful to time it right there, then it can be good. Next setup, we're going to put X on a post, just kind of a post here. We're going to streak RB, we're going to angle Y, we're going to drag A, and we're actually going to motion him across. This setup looks really good on paper, I won't lie. Now, is X a throwable route? He is, if you don't sail the ball. And I don't need to be pass leading like this. We'll try and hit him again in this window. If I were to just be pass leading normally, these would be completed passes. I don't need a freeform necessarily. Backside post, really good. You like having someone over there to clear up that space, preferably on a drag or a zig or a flat or an out route, something like that. You could leave him on the flat. I like going with the angle route again. Give yourself another option if it's man coverage. We have the drag. The corner out's an option over there as well. So that is a really good setup. Next setup is going to be put X on a corner out. We're going to drag A. We're going to streak RB. We're going to angle Y. So this is kind of like a double post type setup. You'll see the next one will be even more like a double post setup, but this is going to be a solid setup. With X over here, do not sleep on him. You can actually hit him, potentially. We hit him there. Is it an easy throw? It is most certainly not an easy throw at all. You have the drag, you have the angle route, similar stuff. Boom, you got that. Next setup is going to be put X on a corner out. We're going to drag A once again. We're going to, now the reason we're dragging A is because he's on that little stop route. He does run a drag stock, but he ends up stopping it. He doesn't run fully to the sidelines. That's why we do it. We're going to streak our B and we're actually going to post B. So this is going to be the true setup, and we're going to leave Y on the flat here. So this is really a nice double post setup. Now, if you obviously wanted to turn it completely into double post, you could do this. This is really double post. Assuming it's like college football and where you already have no time in the hot route, we're going to just run it like this, and you can hit B in this window. That was a hospital pass, but he hung on, so who cares? So that is a solid setup right there. I mean, again, trying to hit X over here, that's not going to play. You can hit him situationally. Cover 2 could be a situation where you could hit him. Cover 3, not really a great situation to hit him. Again, we have our check down here, a lot of space. If you can catch it and juke, 5 yards. In a cloud of dust, you'll take it. Again, you're really trying to hit B, if not hit A or the flat route. Simple. A lot of these setups, you give yourself an over-the-top option. If he users it, you have 2 checkdowns. You choose the one that's more open. Pretty simple stuff here, guys. Next setup is going to be PA bunt shot. Now here with PA bunt shot, I like a few setups. The first one is going to be B on a post, and we're just going to put Y on a flat. A, unfortunately, out of this bunch formation, you can't block A. He's kind of already on a stock block here, so we'll actually take advantage of that. But here, I'm done using my left trigger. And we're in the wrong play. See, I just cannot stand having to audible every play. I wish you could just one feature that if I was developing the game I would make in practice mode is to let you change the play without having to go to the menu. I know it's not a big thing, but in these videos, it does become a big thing when I don't want to have to go out every time. So that's a good pass to throw. You have the drag wide open, you have the flat that could be open. So, I mean, solid stuff. Again, if he doesn't use your B, you're going to try and hit him. If not, you have the drag or the flat. Feel free. Take either one. Anyways, next setup out of PA bunt shot, which is going to be the last one. We only have 2 setups for this play. We're going to go ahead and flat B. We're going to cross our B. We're going to drag A, and we're going to put Y on a little wheel route here. This setup is going to be really good, I think. There's a lot to like. The first thing we like is going to be this wheel route. Now, this is a good point, because this is a setup you're probably going to want a little bit more space for. So we're probably actually going to move the bunch over, which may have been, it depends. For the corner routes, you kind of want to be more on the short side and like those backside posts. But for something like this, I'm going to like being on this hash, because it is important to give that wheel route more space, because when he doesn't have enough space, it's like that, and you're throwing a hospital pass interception like so quickly. Again, here's the setup. So now we have space. You can throw that, you can fit it in, you can catch the ball. It's a passable route. Now, you see how aggressively they actually play it. That's one thing that you notice out of bunch, that they didn't play super aggressive out of trips. Now, that curl flat played really good, but he didn't play aggressive, and the whole defense didn't necessarily play too aggressive. So here, it's going to draw like a lot of those things over. If you can hit RB right here, you would live with that. And you see how different it is, how fast these routes move to the sideline. So be careful, because when you're on this hash mark, they move to the sideline really quickly when they're on a crosser like that, and especially when they're not getting bumped. Now, another thing you can do with this flat, create some more space, is motion him out and snap it that way. This is going to create a little bit more space. So you can hit the crosser, you can hit the drag, or the wheel. 3 options again, 2 underneath, 1 over the top. Take advantage. Anyways, we got PA wide receiver in here. Now with PA wide receiver in, we have kind of a stalker deep post. Everything else is kind of meh. So what I will do is I actually like the post with the stock post that you hot route with. So we're going to put B on a separate post. We're going to slant RB. We're going to flat A. We're going to flat Y. Then we're going to actually motion A across. And then with X over here, you can do a few different things. I would probably just streak him. And this is something that, again, I'm going to add to my ebook because I didn't actually write it down. So again, we're adding things here. But the setup will be solid. You're really trying to hit B over the top. Do I just suck at freeforming? Because I don't get why they always overthrow it. With RB, you can do it in route as well. I don't hate doing that. I mean, Jesus Christ, the hook girl followed him. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. The user is not going to do that. The user sees the slant. He's going to bite on the slant every time. You guys just got to trust me on that. Late play situations, you're going to have a slant over here. This guy's going to sit wide open. Feel free to check it down. Rat catch it. This may also be a better setup from the hash, and this is something I need to remember because being on the hashes is very important in this game because they're so exaggerated. So lots of setups will be better from hashes. Like that setup didn't look good right there. Will it probably look a lot better now? It probably will. Just things you got to pay attention to and keep in mind that I didn't really realize. Or this guy's just gonna play. The zones play really good this year. Like they did a pretty good job with those zones because they cover a lot of ground. Could you do streak, post? This is not even a setup I have in the ebook. Could you do something like this? You could. And this works a lot. Nice pass, man. Nice pass. I'm going to show that setup again. This is not in the ebook. I didn't actually write it down at least, but showing something that you could do. We could flat, we could streak, we could slant the tight end, and then we could just streak him. Then we could, again, post B. The slant, he's going to run that slant probably a little bit better. I mean, you could obviously hit him. And you see the post route was open on that previous play, so that's a nice setup, actually. Anyways, we will run our next setup, which is PY wide receiver in, which is going to be putting X on a corner route. We are going to drag A, streak RB, and angle Y. Solid setup here. This is, again, similar to a double post. You're not really going to ever hit B, but, again, we're going to hit these guys over here. Drag, angle route, corner route, backside post, maybe, if it's a cover 2. It's a lot more realistic to hit that against a cover 2. Now, he's already on a drag, so we don't actually have to hot route that, but now here is a situation where maybe X gets a little bit more open. Again, the hash marks do matter, so like if I'm far on the left hash, this is a situation where the wide receiver on the corner out could be a lot more open. It's driving me nuts that I have to fucking audible every time. So here you could click on, make the catch right there. So again, if I'm saying a route works and you're not seeing it, it can be just as simple as a hash mark issue. Like with the crossers earlier, probably was just a hash mark issue. I mean, especially when you lab something out of one side, you don't do it on the other. God damn, dude, this QB sucks so bad. I'm done with this QB, bro. He's awful. He is so bad. There you can hit the post. And he's fumbled, but he's wide open. Easy. Next setup. Audible. Corner X. We're going to drag A, streak RB, and flat Y. So we're going to corner X, drag A, streak RB. Same thing, but with a flat route instead of an angle. This gives us just better spacing. Again, you're still trying to hit this guy, ideally, but you have the drag, you have the corner out on the left side. Simple high-low read. You want to hit B every time if he's not usered. If he's usered, or if there's a quarter in there instead of a half, something, it's not open, you have options. Moving on. Next setup is going to be corner RB. Actually, over here, we're going to flat A, we're going to angle Y, and we're just going to drag X. And I'm in the wrong play, of course. I'm sorry that I'm getting a little frustrated here, but it's just annoying that I even have to do this. But here's the setup. It's kind of chaotic a little bit, but it can be good. So The corner out, a lot of these routes are more for distraction. You could have easily hit B on his route, definitely, but you will really, what it's going to come down to is either flat, angle route, or drag route. Short yardage situation, good play. Get the user looking over the top, check it down. These flats, they run super slow this year, which is definitely a good thing. You want them to run slower. It's just going to open up more space for them. So, easy money there. Now, run plays, we got inside zone here. I will actually show over some stuff in the wing trips. The inside zone is going to be decent. Now, you're always going to be running more to the weak side, so you do want to be careful, but that can be better sometimes. With a good stick work, it can be a little bit better because everyone's going to be on a one-on-one usually. And it's going to come down to the stick work versus the user, something like that, because more guys are going to be over there on the right. So when they're on the left, it's going to create one-on-ones. And I mean, usually it's guaranteed to get like 3 or 4 yards. Unless they really load the box out of an even set, 3-4 odd, 4-3 even, 6-1. Some of those not nickel or dime sets that are even symmetrical, it can be a little bit worse. Now, so we showed the inside zone, other run plays that are in here. Actually, I do have to talk about Seattle because we do have one play in that. I completely forgot, so let's talk about that. So with Seattle here, I like being probably more over here. We'll see. We're in a flat B, we're in a deep cross Y, and we're going to put the running back on a little out route here. So the first route we're going to try and hit is just the tight end here. Oh my God. Casey, do not touch the left trigger. First route you can hit is right here. I'm sorry, it's a bad look overthrowing all these passes. It really is a bad look. Second read, running back here. Third read, if you get enough time, could be the crossing route. It's a good quick snap setup as well. Because you can see he gets open, we just get shedded, of course. There we go. Now he's open. So, deep cross does get open as well. Now let's show some bonus RPOs out of gun wing trips, which I didn't even necessarily put in the ebook, but it's going to be a little bonus here. I do like post curl. If you guys want to see some of those plays, I did show some passing plays in the Alabama ebook, but we're just going to go over a few of these RPOs that I like. The halfback swing is good. These are more good red zone plays. This RPO alert out is not bad at all, because you guys know I like the out routes, but we're going to go with the flat. So we're going to have flat and halfback swing. Now, usually you want to kind of run them on this side with the RPO flats at least. It's easier to throw these flats with the right-handed QB to this side rather than the other one. But let's start out with the read Y flat. Because you can just throw like that and there's no switching. Now, is it fine throwing to the other side? Yes, it would be. I'll actually flip it so you guys can see kind of what it looks like from the other side. You want to wait as long as possible. Now, ideally, those geniuses do pick up blocks. Like, in a perfect world, that guy is picking up a block. And here you see, even with just moving the ball a little bit, makes it a lot better. These are good red zone plays. Again, someone crashes on the run. And you see just how long you can wait to throw it. Even with a bad tight end, you're picking up 5 yards. Now, if you do have to hand the ball off, you can actually keep it, I think, if you just hold A. So let's play that a little bit better. You could keep it. Now, our QB is really slow with Oklahoma State here, but if you have athleticism, this could be something you want to do. Running the ball, not going to be good because you're running to the weak side, so there's not a lot to do over there, especially when it's so much time and that guy can't hold a block to save his life. Not going to be good. Anyways, our next RPO is going to be halfback swing. Now, one thing, if a good player does see you, notice how those receivers were more compressed. A good player will pick up on that and pretty easily know you're running it, but if they're bad, they may not notice. So here we have the halfback swing. Again, this can be good for obvious situations. Get the running back in space. And I did say I was going to show this to the other side, so we will flip it here. Now, it's not going to work as well because we're on the short side of the field, but you guys kind of get the point. It actually does work well. In this case, we pick up 11 yards. But back to the running back swing. It's solid. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Now, it's not something you want to use a whole lot, but again, good red zone plays. Most of your touchdowns will probably be longer passes anyway, but if you're at the 2-yard line, this play's going to work. Anyways, that is going to do it for the ebook. If you guys did enjoy, please hit a like button, subscribe to the channel down below once again, and peace. I'm out.